I got bad news for Utah football. Utah is down to two healthy quarterbacks now because Brandon Rose suffered an injury at Utah's practice. And like Brandon Rose, this is like per SaturdayOutWest.com. The writer is Ethan Stone. And this is like 2 hours ago on the article, by the way. So it's really recent. He wasn't out. Brandon Rose was announced to be Utah's likely starter should Cam Rising now be able to play in the first game. Now, less than a day later, the Utes are looking like they will be start the season down to two quarterbacks. And those two quarterbacks, in case y'all don't know the depth chart, are Bryson Barnes and Nate Johnson. Granted, they do have Matt Howard as well, I know, but you don't want to be down to your fifth string. But either way, not a good situation. Rose took a red shirt last year and came into U2 as the team's backup, according to KSL writer Josh Furling. Brandon Rose took a rough hit and was seriously injured shortly following Whittingham's address as announcing him as conditional QB1. He had been taken to the hospital and was released a few hours later. A following report stated that the timetable for Rose will be months, not weeks. This means third string Bryson Barnes will now see the majority of the reps before the Utes take on Florida to kick off the season August 31st. Barnes is less physically gifted than Rose, but does have the experience in college football. He's seen the field 13 times for the Utes, including 10 times last season as Rising's backup, and he finished in 2022 with 57 passing attempts for 430 yards with 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Yeah, it's not that good of a news, and granted, I know they do have a fifth string, but still, this is not a good situation for Utah to be in, especially if they don't have Cam Rising week 1. Because, it takes time to recover from torn ACLs, and the last thing you need is to rush him from a torn ACL. And I know he's been hit with limitations as well. Like, he can't do, sudden movements, nothing with defenders, as we all know, and just work on mechanics and footwork. But nothing like defenders coming out of his face and then he has to escape from the pocket. So, yeah, and as you could tell, the first game for you, as you all know, Utah plays Florida week 1. I still think Utah wins the game against Florida because I don't think Florida's going to be as good as a year ago. But now, you better watch. It's a Power 5 opponent, and then you have to go on the road to Baylor at 11 a.m. Central Time, and your side of the field will not have any shade at all unless you get permission from the tents. I'm just putting that out there, and granted, they should win the following, the third game of the season, no matter what, against Weber State, or you so hope. If you do lose to Baylor and Weber State, you have major issues, my friend. Or even like the first 2 games, you might have issues. You might, or even all 3. Of course, definitely you do by then, but I would doubt you lose to Weber State. But the following game is UCLA at home. I know UCLA is dealing with the new quarterback, and maybe Cam Rising would be healthier by that time. I don't know, and they have to go on the road to Oregon State. Oregon State, to me, is a sleeper in the Pac-12, and you better be careful of that game, no matter what. And, of course, you have your bye. I mean, that's on a Friday night at that, so it's dangerous. Then you got to go on, then you have a bye week, then you got California on October 14th. You should beat Cal. So, literally. And then you have to go on the road to USC, the following week, and the 28th you play October Oregon at home, Arizona State at home on November 4th, Washington at November 11th. Then you gotta go at Arizona, and Arizona might be a bowl game team this year. So, and you got a home game against Colorado at the very end of the season. So, yeah, you never want to go into a situation when you only have like 2 or 3 quarterbacks left on the roster here. So this is not the best of news for Utah football Ute fans out there. And you need to hope that Cam Rising is going to be ready. I have my doubts. I wouldn't be shocked if he does play, but I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't, because look, torn ACLs are no joke to come back from. I know people in the past come from torn ACLs. It takes a while. Like, I even know a professional women's basketball player who's playing WNBA right now from Australia. She tore her ACL three times within a 4-year period. And yet, she's still playing in the WNBA. She's still playing pro ball. My cousin even played Division I women's soccer a while ago. And she had multiple torn ACLs in the past as well. So, yeah. That injury is so serious. And, of course, there's other examples out there. But in terms of professional world. But still, yeah. It's definitely something to monitor on Utah's quarterback room now going forward. So anyways, if you like this content, like and subscribe button. See you guys later. 5 subscribers. We're on the road to it. Let's go.